Hello and welcome to episode 30 of my Wurm Unlimited tutorial series, and this of course is part 2 of episode 30, and of course it's a continuation of animal taming, and I'm quite sure it's going to be the concluding part. So I just got to well, goodness me, I was probably just about to drift completely and utterly, so it was a good job that it stopped, that episode. Right, so I just got to I wanted to try and explain about, this is confusing, it can be so easily confusing what I'm going to try and explain. That's another reason why it was so great that the end of the last part finished when it did. You can consider what I'm about to say, okay, in this episode, contradictions. But there is a deeper underlying reason for the contradictions. So forgive me for them, but I shall try to enlighten you and explain the contradictions. Okay, the best thing to use for taming your animals is fish. The reason for this is because you can get some very high quality level fish. Now, this is quality level 47. For every 20 quality levels of your food that you have to tame with, you will gain speed on the taming of the animal in question. So I will switch to WurmPedia because I can't actually remember what the speed increase is, but for every 20 levels of the quality level, it makes the taming of the animal faster. Now let's quickly hop over to my wagon, because I actually have some fish I caught yesterday in preparation for this episode, because I want to show you quite a few. See there, look at that perch, quality level 70. That is excellent, and it doesn't matter about the size of the fish really. So we'll grab all of them, and yeah, there's some good quality levels there. Let's grab them. I'll leave the pike because they're a nice weight for cooking. So, and the trouts. Yeah, trouts can be used as well. So there we are, we got lots of taming fish for our animals. Okay, so fish is the best one to use. Now, at the beginning of the last part, I showed we made the butchering knife. Let's quickly now show you that, and we will then drop some of the fish on the ground. So, to fillet fish or meat, to make it smaller, activate your butchering knife, right click on the meat or fish, and then choose fillet. And there we go. You'll see what happens. It's now chopped it up. Notice though that we lost over half of the weight. Okay, so my advice to you is, if you do not have much food, much meat or much fish, it is probably not a good idea to waste most of the food on filleting it. What we should have done was just cooked the fish, but the problem was, because it was too big to fit in the cauldron or the pottery bowl, or the bowl that we use to normally cook our little casseroles, we had no choice but to fillet it. But as you can see, we wasted a lot of its weight. We could have simply fed the whole fish to the dog if we wanted to feed it so it wasn't hungry anymore, which I probably should have done to that fat pig over there, and I'm not being rude. So anyway, I wanted to show you filleting, so there you are. Now, I'm not going to use these though for taming. What I will do is I will drop on the floor the low quality ones, so I'll just drop them on the ground like so, and let's drop some here. Notice that turns into a pile of items. That's because, as you know, when you mix different items, it turns to a pile of items. Okay, so let's just put some food in here, because we want to do keep our animals well fed, especially if we want to breed them, which we do want to do with the dogs. We want to breed them because we need pelts badly, and we need meat. Who says dog meat tastes bad? No, I'm only kidding. We'll probably go with the cows for that. Okay, so let's tame an animal. I've spent over 30 minutes waffling on to you, and I've not even shown you yet how to tame an animal, for goodness sake. I must be the only person on YouTube who can achieve that. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. But let's crack on. So, because our skill is very low, because we want to... Okay, so why is it a good thing and why is it a bad thing for food to have a good high quality level? For the dog, it's not so important to have a high quality level. It's not so important to speed up the taming process. If this was a crocodile I was trying to tame, I do not want to spend 10 minutes in here with it trying to tame it and getting lots of failures. I do not want to try and tame it and it takes a long time for the progression bar to go across whilst I'm trying to tame it, because I'll be dead before it gets to the end. So let's just show you what I'm talking about. We'll use this perch. Activate the item, the food item that you have, right click on the animal and left click tame. Now if I'm successful, it will turn green. If I'm not, it will turn hostile and I will beat a hasty retreat out of the pen. But before I tame this animal, I very nearly slipped up, and I don't want you to slip up. What you first must do, the golden rule to taming, before you tame any animal, when it's a weak one like this, or a cow or a chicken or a rooster, you must always remove your weapon. If you do not and I fail taming, I will start to attack the animal, and with some of the animals you will kill them with 1 or 2 hits. So always remember to unequip any weapons. You will do far less damage with your hands. That was lucky, I nearly messed up there, and I've made notes to follow. Am I following them? No. Okay, so let's switch to my notes and check if there's any other mistakes that I'm making. Yeah, so you understand, don't you, I hope, about the quality level of the food. If it's a dangerous animal, use the highest quality level food you have to try and tame it, because it will make the taming process much quicker. Okay, do not have a weapon. Always make sure your fighting hand is empty. So let's get the dog. Let's try now, for goodness sake. I still haven't shown you. So okay, we have no weapon. Now left click tame. It's going to go through. It didn't take that particularly long. The dog is still blue. You'll see down here, age dog ignores your commands. Notice though, we got a beautiful skill increase. But we did lose the fish. That's okay, we'll try again. Right click, tame. You see, now this is so different to Wurm Online. In Wurm Unlimited, the speed bar of that is so much quicker than in Wurm Online. In Wurm Online, or it might be because my stamina's full. The lower your stamina, the longer it will take to use the skill. And this leads me up to my contradiction of what I said earlier to you about wanting a higher quality food to speed the skill up. Sometimes you do not want the skill sped up. You want the skill to take as long as it can. You want it to be as slow as it can, because it's like fishing. As the taming bar's going along, your skill in that chosen skill goes up. And oh, my brain's going to drift. I know it's going to drift. I need to stay focused here. So, oh goodness me, I'm fighting a losing battle most of the time. None of you realise this, but I am. So, okay. For dogs and pigs, you want to preferably have a very low stamina, because then when you try and tame, the skill will go up very slowly. That means that you're going to get much more skill gain from that skill taming session. Oh, I don't know if it makes sense, as all I can do is pray and hope. So let's just try again, shall we? I'm digging a hole again. And where's the dog gone? Dogs do that. They disappear into the walls when they sit down. Let's try and tame him again and see if he wants to take a bite out of me. So yeah, it's very quick because I'm on full stamina. If I was injured and my stamina was low, so preferably I would have gone and beat myself with a mule and nearly killed myself and then come to try and tame this little innocent Fido. Then it would have been much better skill gain. But I don't care. I'm happy. I got lots of fish and I'm getting skill gain nice and quickly. So let's carry on. I'm not going to use my 70 though. Oh no. Let's use this one, a roach. You can see it takes many attempts. Like I said, oh, didn't do that. Let's try again. I do love taming. It is such a fantastic skill. It is so much fun. There we are. My little friend has turned green. Oh, and lo and behold, Gamester in his lifetime has actually been right about one thing. He is submissive. Wow, there we go. Just shows you I might shoot 60 blanks, but at least one of them is actually going to hit its target. Right, okay, so we have him submissive. Now, what we will do, because we're enjoying ourselves with animal taming, because we know the higher we get this skill, we can go out into the wilds and we can start to capture some truly wonderful creatures. And then we can really start to boast and brag. Not that I'm going to, ever, but some of you might want to have some fun and do that. Notice now this dog that was green is now blue. You now fully understand and comprehend the meaning of the two colours, green and blue, and what they mean to you. So let's retame my little buddy, as you in America like to say. Oh, I do like all the different sayings from around the world, and I do like all the different accents. I'm a real people person when it comes to that. I might be a hermit in the extreme, but I do like all the different nuances of the different nations. Okay, let's try again. And there we are. We've managed to tame him again. Oh, look at our skill. It's now on 561. Okay, let's show you with a greedy pig, shall we? Okay, we will try with this one. Let's use a fillet this time. Let's use our lowest quality, which is this one. So, let's tame. See, the good thing about, do you see how easy that was? I'm going to go out on a limb. Possibly pigs, well no, you see on WurmPedia pigs and dogs are listed as being the easiest creatures to tame. But you can see by this demonstration I've just done, it took several attempts with the dog. But it might just be that because my skill is now on 5.92, it makes the taming easier. Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. So I'm not going out on that limb. I'm going to retract myself as quickly as I can, like a coward. Okay, that's why it's probably easier. So you see, the pig's now green. He's now my pet. If I double click, you'll see it tells me about him. But it does tell me he's a little upset already. It told me a moment ago he was now submissive to my will, and he's turned upset. So if I now continue trying to tame him, I can possibly improve that. Do you see? Once you tame a creature and it turns green and submissive to your will, double left click on him to see his status level, which is what I was talking about earlier. You need to try and improve that. I can't tell you what a perfect level is to go to because it's all down to your skills and the food and other factors which I'm probably not aware of. And some of you lovely, beautiful, wonderful people out around the world are going to help me, I hope, by telling us all some of them other factors which will improve all of this. But now let's double click on him again. He's still upset, even though it did say you create a stronger bond. Let's use another fillet on him. He ignores. Let's try again. Ignores. Let's try again. You know what? I don't want to feed the pigs up because that's not my chosen animal. My chosen animal is the dog. So I'm going to feed him up. No, actually, I'm going to feed her up. Because I want to breed the dogs. And you don't breed an animal if it's hungry. You only breed animals that are well fed. And she is very thin. So we need to feed her up. So let's do this. Demonstrate this with the female dog. She is the female, isn't it? Oh yeah, of course she is. It says she is very thin. Right, okay, so let's now do this little demonstration. I do like doing little demonstrations for you all. I hope you appreciate them. Okay, let's get some more. Yeah, you see the dog I still didn't get on the first attempt. That does suggest that pigs are easier to tame than dogs. But I did get him on the her on the second attempt. Okay, so if we look, they're upset. Let's try and improve that. Oh, please don't sit down, dog. Okay, here we go. We'll tame again. Ignores. Let's start to use some better quality. Oops, that blew it. See, turned aggressive, and I do not want to kill that dog. I want to breed that dog. So what you do is you come out the pen, leave it a little while, and it will become non-hostile. I think there's a certain amount of time that occurs for. You'll be able to work it out because you'll just keep having a look at his colour. So the 3 possible colours in taming we have now discovered are blue, green, and red. So blue, green. Oh, okay, see, she's lost being hostile already. It doesn't take long to step out of the pen and give it a few moments and they'll be back to liking you. Okay, so if we look, she looks upset. So we don't want her looking upset now, do we? We want her looking happy. Let's tame again. Ignored me. Let's try again. I did succeed. That was really funny though. Did you see the combat come up briefly? Okay, let's check. Looks upset. Oh, I bet I haven't got enough fillets or fish to do this. I wanted to take it to another level to show you. But I don't think I'm going to be able to. I didn't bring enough fish, did I? No, still upset. Oh, good. Excellent. I've got 4 trout. Okay, let's continue. Ugh. See, you're going to have fun. It is Wurm. It is going to teach you respect. But oh. And now the dog's sitting there. Come on, that's it. Come back. Thank you. Okay, let's tame. No. And again. Stronger bond. Let's check. Oh, for goodness sake, how much fish does this dog want before it stops being upset? Oh, aggressive, out the pen. Right, so I don't think I'm going to do it, to be honest with you. My skill's too low to try and demonstrate what I want to. I wanted to try and show you them. Let's just try on this one once more. If I fail, I fail. My point has definitely been proven though of what I was trying to show you. Okay, so yeah, he's ignoring. My skill's definitely too low, but I love this skill and I'm going to be fishing loads and taming loads because I want to get my skill up high. Let's now switch to my notes to see what I've missed mentioning to you. Right, okay, it is time for me to switch to WurmPedia and give you a list of the different levels in taming and what creatures you can tame. at that level in my quest to make this thorough. Okay, I'm at the wonderful WurmPedia. So here we are. Here is now a list of the animals you can tame and at what levels you can tame them. Okay, so at level 0, you start at 1, so don't panic. At level 0, you can tame pigs, dogs, rats, deer, mountain lions and wildcats. Okay, a question. What's the best animal to tame out of all of them? Well, that's a silly question, because I should know that you all know now, because I've already told you. So there we go. Okay, next. At level 5, so when this is 5.00, you can then tame wolves, cows and bulls. Because you all must have been wondering, why didn't I start on the cows or the bulls? They seem like really easy creatures to fight. Well, because dogs are the easiest, or pigs. If you have loads of unlimited amounts of pumpkins to waste, pigs are the easiest. But my favourite, as you know, is the dog. Okay, so that's at 5. At 7.00, it opens up taming horses. At 15, it opens up taming brown bears. And also young champion wolves. So here we go, we're starting to get onto the champion creatures. At 20, you can start to tame black bears. At 35, you can start to tame cave bugs. At 35 to 40, you can start to tame unicorns, my favourite creature for taming. At 40 as well, you can tame crocodiles. You're going to have some fun there, and you're going to know the meaning of death. At 45, you can start to tame champion black bears, and your quest for death will continue. At 40 to 50, you can start to tame hellhounds. Well, you've so far only been running and dying from them, but of course when you get a pen and you get your skills up, yep, you certainly can start to tame hellhounds. At 70, you can start to tame hell horses. And I've got a very sorry tale about that, because my hell horse I used to have that I tamed got killed by someone. But I won't go there. At 90, 90 plus, you can start to tame champion unicorns. Well, I've never achieved that. I wonder if any of you will. I bet some of you will. You're always full of surprises. All of you are. Okay, so let's continue on, because I don't want to make this more than 2 episodes. Let me just check my notes. Okay, something else to mention is about the fact that the use of foods for taming. There are some ingenious ways people have come up for using foods for taming. I've been showing you filleting fish, so it breaks down into components to feed them, so you don't use up your whole load of food in one go. I've shown you with other normal fish unfilleted. There are other ingenious ways. What I'm going to do is switch to WurmPedia to give you a demonstration, an example of one of them ingenious ways of feeding animals. Food for taming. This is reading from WurmPedia. I will summarise it, because otherwise this episode is going to go on for too long. Basically, what you can do is you can cook up a load of food in a cauldron. You can then put different vegetables into a flask, and then add your soup from the cauldron into the flask. Because you've already put vegetables into that flask, like potatoes, it will only leave, if you do it correctly, 0.005 kilograms of soup. It will only allow a tiny minuscule amount of soup to be put in that flask. That then allows you to use that minuscule amount of soup to try and tame the animal. You can then use that cauldron of soup, I don't know if it's hundreds of times, but you can use it for ages. That is ingenious. I wish I could claim that was my idea, but it is not. I'm just purely reading from WurmPedia, the most fantastic resource you have for playing Wurm online or Wurm Unlimited. So there we are. I'm not going to spend more time with that. I encourage you strongly to read WurmPedia on all these subjects. I will try and remember to link to the different pages I've used. I don't always remember, but I will try. Okay, now let's check my notes to see what else I wanted to mention. Yes, whilst taming, always keep an eye on your health. The more dangerous the creature, the more chance there is of you dying. You do not want to die. If you've deeded, it's not a problem, or if you've got your tent placed, it doesn't matter. But if you do not have a tent placed and you have not done a deed, do not let your health go under 80% whilst trying to tame, okay? Because you're going to respawn somewhere where you don't know, so don't go there, alright? That's a definite pro tip. Because some creatures, as you can see, take several attempts to tame them. With the non-aggressive ones, you've got all the time in the world. I think it was Louis Armstrong. Anyway, I'm not going to drift. With aggressive creatures, you're in a hurry to get the job done. And you're doing it next to your gate. That's why you built these pens, for goodness sake. So just step out. But I have in the past nearly died several times, and it's not even been a difficult creature to kill, but I've been so busy enjoying the taming aspects of the game that I've not even considered looking at my health, and I've gone right down, nearly died. I think, yeah, right down, nearly died, but I'd managed to step out the pen just in time. Okay, what else do I want to mention to you? Always, if you're not near pen, so let's say you're out in the wilds, you've got your skill up to 70, and you're going for a really nice creature to tame. Always have your trusty cart or wagon near you to climb into. Because if the taming fails, because I do not believe you can tame from being on a cart, you have to get on the ground, always be within reach of it. So when you right click, always make sure you have the option to embark. If it goes horribly wrong, your health goes wrong, you can jump on your cart, away you go, as quick as you can, away from that creature. The creature will chase you for a while, but it will eventually give up. Let it get your health, heal yourself back up, then go back for round 2. Fun. Okay, what else do I need to mention to you? Okay, I'm going to switch back to WurmPedia and conclude this episode. Forgive me if I have waffled on too much, but surely by now you realise I waffle. It is what I do. Okay, let's go to WurmPedia. First I'm going to read to you the subject that it has on taming skill gain, because I might have confused you a little. I hope I haven't. I really do. I mean, I'm trying to put all the love and detail into this that I can, but you know what? I'll try the best I can and I'll still possibly fail a lot. Okay, so reading from WurmPedia, taming skill gain. That's the heading. And underneath it, it's got skill gain. Taming skill gain appears to be based on timer length. So ideal skill gain is from decent quality level food at the lowest stamina possible without being too tired. Being wounded ironically seems to make this easier. With about 50% longer timer, skill gain roughly doubles on the same animal at the same tame level below max. You can bottom out your stamina at 5 or 6 tries in a row with 44 quality level meat. Highest gain is just before that point. It should be mentioned that you gain the same skill regardless of whether you tame a new animal every cycle or not. Now, what I'm really truly hoping is that information I've just read to you, you can put right besides the information I fed fed to you earlier, and between them both you will gain an understanding, a complete understanding. That is what I wish for. So just like I've said to you in the past, I work alongside the wonderful WurmPedia. I am just another reference source. That's all I am. Okay, and the last thing, I know the 30-minute time has gone. I'm sorry about that. The last thing is I just want to check WurmPedia to see if there's anything else that was important for me to mention. There's titles. I'm not going to ruin what they are. Taming is far too much fun skill to give that away. I want you to progress and find out the hard way. Hopefully you won't die too much. Okay, no, it's not fair for me to carry on. Please read WurmPedia. There is a wall of text on it for animal taming, and it covers all sorts of things. The very last thing I'll leave this with then. Okay, one more little thing, and this is a snippet from WurmPedia. Noticed I've called this episode Animal Taming. You can tame monsters, not animals, dogs, bears, crocodiles, etc, etc, etc. You can tame trolls and other creatures, but that's for priests, and that's possibly a completely different episode. I won't promise that it will be an episode. I'll see how many people I get asked for it to be an episode. That will be the judge. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you, and may He keep you safe, or keep you safe, and have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching, and thank you for joining me. Goodbye.